Welcome into CFB with JD, the People's Channel for everything you know and you love about college football on YouTube. Today, we're here with the People's Champ, the pride of Stafford, Texas, the Brazos Badger, Jalen Pitre. Jalen, how you doing, brother?
Doing well, been working out, keeping my mind in the right space, but everything been, good so far.
You're looking good. You're looking fresh. You got the slides, the shades, bro. Like, I feel underdressed right now.
Nah, you right there with me. Bro. I'm underdressed, actually. I like your kicks. You got a nice polo on. You look nice, too.
I appreciate it. Okay, I'm going to take that. That's going to boost me the rest of the day, man. Stafford, Texas. Smaller town, about 17,000 people. Talk to me about what Stafford, Texas is about.
It's about hard work. Like you said, it's very small. Not many, people in the area, but, it's surrounded by a lot of bigger, smaller, like, cities. Missouri City, Sugar Land, a lot of great athletes that's came out of those areas. But, I think that Stafford has some great athletes as well. So, all the work that we put in, all the times that we had, I think has led me to, become a great player. And I think, that's a big reason why I'm having the success that I'm having right now.
I can tell, man. You're proud to be from Stafford.
Definitely.
That's awesome, man.
Definitely proud to be from Stafford.
That's awesome. Well, let's start from the beginning. 5 games into the junior season, tear the ACL. Like, where is your head at that point in time, bro?
Yeah, so my head was everywhere because I wanted to go back in the game initially. I didn't think it was torn, but my trainers thought it was, something that needed to be looked at. And when I figured out that it was torn, I was kind of, heartbroken because I couldn't finish the season off and that I couldn't, play my last year with my brother. So it was real hard for me, but my parents and my family, kept me grounded and, said that there would be, brighter days. So it ended up, turning out good for me in my senior season, coming back and finishing, with finishing a great career at Stafford.
And then for people that don't quite understand what an ACL tear at your junior season in high school does to your recruiting, I mean, what did that mean for you from a collegiate standpoint? Because I imagine that probably did a lot with coaches and people talking to you, not talking to you. Like, what was that situation like?
Yeah, so a lot of people may know I was committed my sophomore year to Baylor. So I was already locked in, and that was really my only offer at the time. But a lot of coaches, shied away from me in recruitment. And that just made me, go with Baylor even harder because the Baylor coaches told me that my offer was still valid and that they were still going to, accept me come the end of my, senior season. So that was a big reason why I stayed with Baylor. And, I'm grateful that they, gave me the opportunity to come play here.
And everything happens at Baylor, right? Like leading up to that, everybody except for you in that signing class decides, hey, I'm going to go pursue other options. I'm going to transfer. I'm going to take another offer, whatever it is. But you stuck with Baylor. Was it because of their loyalty to you, or what was the driving factor behind sticking with the only one-man signing class?
Yeah, definitely their loyalty to me was a big reason why I stayed. Also, it's a great school to get a degree from. My parents thought it would be a great, school for me to go to and, help me after, I hung up the cleats and stopped playing football. And also it was still, playing football in the Big 12, still great competition and a great place, showcase your talents.
Yeah, and even when you get on campus, right, like Baylor is still not playing probably at the level you would have hoped when you get there, and there's a lot of tumultuous times. Was transferring ever on the table for you? Was that ever something that crossed your mind?
No. Never thought about transferring. I understood that wherever you go, there's always going to be hard times and, some hardships, but I never thought about, bailing or leaving Baylor ever.
I love that, man, because in today's day and age of college football, it's like, hey, if I'm not the first guy on the roster after my sophomore season, like, I'm jumping ship.
Yeah.
Do you have any thoughts on, like, what the transfer portal is doing in college football right now as a guy who decided to stick it out and do it the hard way and do it the blue-collar way, really?
Yeah, I think everybody, everybody's situation is a little different. But me personally, I'm never the type to, do something different than what I signed up for. I believe that, like I said, there's going to be hardships and, some bumps along the way. But I believe that if you stick it out, you'll end up seeing the light. And I did at the end of my career.
Yeah, man, stuck it out in 2020. Get the single digit. Get that nice Ocho on, the number 8.
Definitely.
What did that mean to you?
It meant a lot. because, I had a lot of great players that came before me that wore the number 8, especially, Henry Black, somebody that I looked up to, somebody that's in the NFL now, making great plays. So, it was great to, put on that jersey and kind of, live up to that standard that he upheld while he was here.
And under this new staff, it seems like, obviously, you were still developing, you were playing linebacker, and you were kind of a safety when you came in. But under this new staff, bro, like, we got to see you just spread your wings.
Yeah.
Why is that? What was it about this staff and this scheme that fits so well with what you do on the field?
Yeah, it was more comfortable in my eyes, something that I was playing in high school, something that I played the majority of my life. And, when Coach Aranda and Coach Roberts, gave me the opportunity to play the star position, I took it and I didn't look back. I was very aggressive in my approach to meetings, the training room, practice, and, everything that I was doing. And that led to the success that I had at the star position.
And you have a post on your Instagram, and it captions just inspiration. And it's got Tyrann Mathieu, it's got Kobe Bryant, it's got Jay-Z. Talk about those 3 guys. Is that kind of what culminates your mentality, or what do those 3 mean to you?
Definitely. Tyrann Mathieu, to me, is the greatest player to ever play football. A lot of people might not think that, but I think all the hardships that he went through in his career in college and the setbacks that he had, and to see him, persevere through that is just very inspirational. Similar to him, I had some, setbacks, some injuries, and some things not go my way, but I always stay with my head down working. And that's the reason, I look up to him. Kobe Bryant, greatest player to ever play basketball. He was relentless in his approach with everything. The Mamba mentality is something that, I love to see. And RIP to him and his daughter, because, that they were great. And I loved, watching him when I was younger. Like, he was always somebody that was on the TV in our household. And then Jay-Z, he's just a mogul. He's done everything from rapping to business. He's put his toe in every pond around the world, and it's great to see people, venture out and evolve into a bunch of different worlds. So that's a big reason why, he's inspired me as well.
And all 3 of those so versatile, which I think translates so much to your game. So I loved that post. I thought that was interesting, man.
Definitely.
So talk about, you have the 2020 season, first year under Aranda, doesn't go how you hoped. 2021. Get a full spring under you, kind of get COVID more or less behind you and the whole program. What was your mindset personally and for this team heading into that 2021 season?
My mindset personally was to, get everybody on board, make sure that everybody, took the ownership and made sure that they knew that their role was important, because we always had, the best of the best, great players, but I don't think that everybody understood how big their role was. So, me and a bunch of my teammates just being able to relay that message to some of the, younger guys and some of the less experienced guys. And I think that's what helped our team, growing the way that we did from 2020 to 2021. And also with that, we had more time with our coaches, that relationship just got a lot better, and, it grew from there. And I wouldn't trade, all of that for anything.
And it paid off. I mean, y'all hit the ground running. 6-1 going into the bye week. You're all over the place. Like, you're breaking up passes, you're rushing the passer, you're doing what you do. Was there any sense of awareness for, like, hey, I might be in the All-American territory right now? Like, was there any feel for how well you were actually playing going into that bye week?
No, not at all. I never really paid attention to that. There's obviously watch lists and stuff that come out before the season, but, I never really, took any, put any emphasis on that, because that really didn't mean nothing when it came to, what you did in the season. Looking back on it, it was a lot of things that I could have fixed throughout the season, a lot of things that I could have got better at. But, I'm grateful for the things that I did and the wins that we did get. But never would have thought that I would have been an All-American and got all of those accolades that I did. But I'm thankful for them.
Speaking of wins, y'all play your way into the Big 12 championship, and we're going to talk about 2 plays. We're going to get to the 4th down play for sure.
Yes.
But before that, a lot of people forget on 3rd and goal, they went play action, and they tried my man number 8.
Yes.
So walk me through that play. Walk me through just everything that went on from the snap to you breaking up that pass?
Yeah, so 2 plays before that, Oklahoma State tried to run power twice on us, and we stopped them. So coming into third down, I was responsible for the tight end, and I knew that, they were going to try to play action pass. Now they were going to fake the power and kind of get the quarterback running to get it to either the tight end or the fullback in the flat. And knowing that, I kind of anticipated it, kind of overran the tight end like a little bit too early, and he ended up stopping. And watching the quarterback, I kind of retraced and was able to get the ball out. And like you said, then that led to a big play McVay and stopping the fourth down, which was a great play.
Yeah, man. I mean, what are your emotions when you see McVay get him around the ankles? He ends up being short on 4th and goal. Y'all are Big 12 champs. Like, what are you feeling? Describe that feeling to me.
Yeah, I mean, it just gave me chills right now. Like, every time I watch the play, every time, I think about the play, I get chills because, it was all or nothing. And it was kind of like all of our career, we all have been through things. We all have, like I said, had some setbacks, had some rough seasons, but it came down to that last play. And a guy like McVay to, go out and, make that big play was huge for us because he's a guy that, you can trust. A lot of people ask me about McVay, and I say that's a guy that I would, easily leave my kids with if I had to leave, for a long time because I trust him and, he's a great guy. So, it was great to see him make that play. It was huge for us.
Just an overwhelming amount of
Definitely.
Emotion, I'm sure. I mean, did that just happen in slow motion for you, seeing it? Because they ran the play away from you, which is like smart by them. They didn't run it towards number 8,
yeah.
But they're going for the pylon, and you're just watching this unfold. Was it like cinematic? Was it slow motion?
Yeah, it definitely was because I was like behind the line of scrimmage, and I could like see the goal line. And right when I saw McVay clip him and I seen the ball didn't get in, and I seen the ref kind of waving it off, saying it was out of bounds, I immediately took off running towards the sideline to my team to celebrate because, I was so happy and, excited for us.
So you knew right away, like there wasn't any question of, okay, did he get it? Did he not get it? You were like, no, it's short. We're about to win this thing.
Yeah, I knew right away when I seen the ref, wave his hands that it was out of bounds and short, and we all took off and, celebrated with the team.
Gets me fired up, man. That's so awesome. I loved as well, the broadcast caught a moment of you on the sideline with McVay, and you had your arm around him, you were saying something to him. What did you say to him in that moment?
I told him I loved him, and I appreciate all the hard work, that he's put in throughout all the years that we've been here together. I came in, and immediately I saw him, and, he didn't get the credit that he deserved early on, but, he continued to work. And I told him I loved him, and I appreciate all the things that he did for me and a team all the way up to that point. And, it was great to see him, make that play. It was huge for us.
That feel almost validating as a leader to see a guy that you've been in the same position group with, a guy that you came up with in a lot of ways? Was that just validating in every sense of the word?
Definitely, it was validating. Like I said, he is one of the hardest workers on the team, and to see him get that recognition was, it meant the world to all of us because he definitely deserved it.
So you finish up the Big 12 championship, find out you drew Ole Miss for the Sugar Bowl, and from it seems like the times they announced the bowl games, it was all this chatter about Ole Miss and their offense and Lane Kiffin. I mean, did that kind of get you fired up a little bit? Did that get the juices flowing for you?
Definitely. We love challenges as a defense. We're always trying to play the best. And, when we knew that we were playing Ole Miss, we knew that we were going to get, a fast tempo offense that had a lot of great weapons and, Corral, Drummond, and all the running backs that they have. So, it was great to get them. And I think we went out and executed very well against them when we played them in the Sugar Bowl.
Did that sort of send a message for you, not just about Baylor football, but, hey, the Big 12 in general? Because I feel like that's a conversation, too, every bowl season. Is this conference better than that conference or whatever? And the SEC likes to let you know, hey, it means definitely more. Like, you know what I'm saying? I mean, was that a talking point for you, or at least a point of we want to prove this to the nation?
Not necessarily. I don't try to get into the Big 12 versus SEC or any conference, any of that trash talk. I think it's pretty cool to watch, but I try to stay, out of it. I just seen it as another challenge for us as a team, and I think we stepped up to it and executed very well.
Absolutely. That's where people like us talk about, right? Whenever y'all aren't playing, we'll talk about conferences and who's better, this, that, and the other. We got to have something to talk about, man.
Definitely got to have
playing,
some content, and y'all do a great job at that.
Appreciate that, man.
For sure.
Okay, so finish up the season. All-American awards come out. Validation. Did that just feel like, okay, everything I've been through here from sticking with Baylor, from committing until, being an All-American, was that kind of like, okay, this worked. This plan worked that I had?
Yeah, it just showed me that God doesn't make mistakes. That if you continue to, persevere and work hard, that you're going to be rewarded in the end. So that's what that kind of, told me. And it told me to always be confident in myself, even, when I'm not seeing the successes that I want.
What do you hope people remember about you at Baylor?
He was a team guy. He loved his teammates. He was very friendly, and, he was the standard at Baylor. He did everything that he needed to do to go out and execute on Saturdays, and he was also, a great student in the classroom as well.
Absolutely, man, without a doubt. And I think I speak for a lot of people when I say I believe that will be your legacy, and I believe that's how people do remember you already, and I'm sure that story's only going to grow with time. But, man, looking forward to the next chapter of your life, the NFL, something I'm sure you've dreamed of for forever. What's the draft process been like for you?
The draft process has been great. I've been to the Senior Bowl, to the Combine, and to the Pro Day, and it's been some wonderful experiences. Some people that I've met that I've never thought I would be able to meet. Great players I've been around, and I've put in a lot of work, and to see that it is paying off. In Pro Day. And at the Combine, it was great to see that work pay off. But, I'm ready to put the pads on and get back into football.
Who are some of those guys you met? Like, coolest person you met? Give me like a top 2, top 3.
I met Rod Woodson.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So he was at the Combine. We got to speak with him, and, he gave us a lot of great insight about the NFL and just stuff on and off the field, some tools that we could take. Who else did I meet that was, pretty cool?
Rod Woodson, man, that's a name in itself.
Legend.
Like, that's good enough for me. I can die happy I meet Rod Woodson, man. That's awesome.
Definitely. I was with a great group of safeties at the Combine. I met a lot of great players that's also entering the draft. But, like I said, it was a great experience overall to, just be in a room with those guys.
I'm not going to ask you to put a team behind this, but there's so much perception about those pre-draft interviews in Indianapolis. Weirdest question you got at the Combine?
Weirdest question. I think the weirdest question that I got was if I was walking in a parking lot and I seen a wallet full of money, what would I do with it? And it was just kind of crazy that, that they don't obviously gonna check your character and see what you're about, but for them to just draw up a scenario like that's so random and kind of pick your brain off of that, I think that was definitely one of the more crazier questions that I got.
Yeah, what'd you say? I'm like, bro, I'm going to Target. I'm getting my fiance, right? My wife now. We're getting some new stuff for the house. Like, what'd you say to that?
Yeah, I definitely said I'm gonna try to find a nearest store to give it to the lost and found, and if it's around nothing, then I'm probably just gonna leave it there.
Yeah.
That was my response.
It's good enough for me, man. That's probably a better answer than I would have given. So that's good to hear. Man, what is an NFL team getting when they draft Jalen Pitre?
A smart, dependable, and tough player. I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna work every day. I'm gonna come prepared, and I'm gonna be a professional. Those are some of the characteristics that I want to bring to an NFL team, and I always want to bring that energy and that attitude to whatever, defense or special teams I'm playing on, in order to, keep the morale of the team up.
What are your plans for draft day? Any big party you're going to do or any big get-together with the family?
I want to have a small get-together with my family, just to, experience that moment with them. I think that'll be, the best thing that I could, do for my parents and my brother and my girl, just to, experience that with them because they've been through all the hardships with me all the way up to this point.
Absolutely. So let me set the scenario for you. With the blank pick, insert NFL team selects Jalen Pitre. What's that moment going to be like?
Man, that's a great question. I really don't know how I'm going to react. You know, it still hasn't hit me that, you know, I'm actually going to be playing in the NFL and I'm actually going to be playing against the best of the best. So that's still unknown for me right now. I don't know if I'm going to cry, if I'm going to just be extremely happy, or if I'm going to sit there and, like, shock. Hopefully I can show some type of emotion, because sometimes in those situations I seem so shocked that I don't even, you know, show any emotion. But it's definitely going to be a great time for me and my family.
You're not a crier?
Sometimes.
Okay.
It depends. You know, I cried in the Big 12, but I didn't cry in the Sugar Bowl. But the Sugar Bowl probably was, you know, a better experience for me, because, you know, I got to spend more time with my teammates, and, you know, we were still in New Orleans for that one night. So I don't know. You know, I never know myself.
Man, well, I think I speak for everybody. We're all excited for you. Everybody here in Waco, everybody here at this channel is a supporter of yours, and we're extremely grateful for you to make some time, man, to be in here with us on CFP with JD. Excited to see where you end up, man. It's going to be a blast. We're extremely excited for you.
Appreciate you taking the time, you know, talk to me today.
Absolutely, man. Awesome. Well, again, Jalen Pitre, soon to be with one of the lucky 32 NFL teams to have a chance to draft him. We're going to keep this party rolling. We will see y'all next time.
Yes.